palmistry reading of a 45-year-old woman. She had few questions regarding her business. She has recently joined. She has been working with her husband for quite some time, and from past few years. She wanted to know what is the best business for her, and few other questions she had in her mind. She's having doubts like from past 3 years things have not been going the way she had expected. So before we start the video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can call me or you can email me. These are the phone number and the email that are mentioned out here on the screen to get a reading from me, to get a palmistry reading from me. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image that we have in front of us. The first thing that I would be doing is describing the hand, and while I am describing the hand, few of your questions are going to get answered. So let me first start to describe the hand. Now this is basically the heart line, and people who have a long heart line reaching the first finger, the pointing finger, the Jupiter finger, it means that the person is sensitive, idealistic, and the person, for these people, the value of money is not there. They do not value money as much as the other people if the heart line had ended purely and purely under the mount of Saturn. So this is the area of Saturn. Saturn is basically for your money, possessions, and wealth. You would be wondering why we are talking about the heart line when we are talking about money. See, each and every line can tell something or the other about money, possessions, and wealth. Even to the extent, even the heart line can tell about these things. So it tells about the person in an indirect way, not in a direct way, but in an indirect way. See, people who are materialistic are the ones who are able to make more money. People who value money, who are responsible with money, those are the people who basically can accumulate great amount of wealth. So when we talk about the heartline, we are trying to see if the person is targeting towards money and possessions and wealth. So if the heartline had ended on the mount of Saturn, it would mean purely the person wants money. Now, even in spite of me saying that the heartline is long and the person doesn't value money, the person is still going to say no, they want money. This is because the society that the person is living in, they are changing their initial main personality. Their main personality is not the money, but their such a personality is likely to value more of emotions and not money. So when the opportunity comes to make money, these people might lose the opportunity. Imagine a situation where a very poor person comes and he says, no, I don't have any money, or this and that. This person is likely to give a free reading to them or something free. So what happens is that people who are likely to give their services for free, they are going to get less money. And if the heartline had ended purely on the mount of Saturn, those people, while sitting on their desk, in their shop, they would never ever never ever give money for free. Like they would value it and they would try to multiply it while in their shop. Even these people who have their heartline ending under the mount of Saturn, they might make good amount of money, but at the same time, at a later stage, they might give out huge amounts of money because they already have good amount of money. So this is the way to explain regarding the heartline, what it basically represents. The heartline is long and reaching till the end. So whenever it's reaching till the end, the person might become possessive, the person might be idealistic, the person might be sensitive, and some amount of jealousy can also come about with these kind of people. Now the heartline also has got a strong line hanging downward towards the headline. This is the headline. It's hanging downward towards the headline. this is a little bit negative sign, because this basically means distraction, or it could mean losing your focus. If there were small lines, they're still they're also negative, but the stronger line is more negative compared to a comparatively weaker kind of branches that are hanging down from the heartline. So so this is the negative aspect. So this basically means some emotion or something might trouble this particular person for an elongated periods of many years. So this is what is seen out here. Now the other part of the hand is that the headline, this is the headline and this is the lifeline. So whenever both these lines are joined at the start for a long duration of time, the head and the life, it basically represents that the person is very cautious, shy, hardworking and contemplating. So many opportunities are going to basically go away from such a person. Like the person might lose the opportunity. It's not it was the wrong word I used, that going away, it is basically losing the opportunity because the person is very cautious. It might appear that it is a negative trait, but in fact it could also be a positive trait, because people who are very cautious, contemplating, hardworking, those are the people who are likely to get success in the later period of their life. See, in the initial period, everybody wants this to get success very fast, and to get success very fast they might change their jobs and do many things, but such a person would try to stick to one particular thing because the person is very cautious. So this person would have started to walk also at a later stage, and this person would be would always want to be at a very short footing. Only then they basically they never want to fall. So that's the reason why they basically are very cautious, shy, hardworking. This is the basic nature they have. And people who are, I call these people as snail paced. Their pace, their speed is snail paced. And tortoise. In the hare and tortoise story, these people are the tortoise, and these people basically win the race ultimately, but at the later stage. So we can say with certainty that these people would succeed somewhere after the age of 35. For some people it is after the age of 35, and for other people it could be after the age of 45. This is just an approximate. This is not a hard and fast rule. Now you would be wondering why we are taking a look at the right hand, why not the left hand for a woman. See, both hands, I consider both hands to be important hands in both male and female, and women, people who are working, specifically people who are working. If they are right-handed, then I basically value the right hand more compared to the left hand. But it's not that both hands show dissimilarity. In most cases both hands show somewhere like lots of similarities are there. It's not that they are totally dissimilar. Now we have the left hand also in front of us. In this case what we find is that the heart line is comparatively shorter compared to the right hand. It is comparatively shorter and reaching almost till the Jupiter finger, but somewhere close to the mount of Saturn. So these people now start to value money. They basically have that ability to multiply money. So all these qualities also come to this particular person. So there could have been a shift in the person's personality. So there could be a major shift in the person's personality from being too sensitive to being too realistic. Now depending what the person has actually become, that particular hand becomes more prominent. Suppose from being a realist, we call reaching the Saturn area, the heart line reaching the Saturn area, we call it as a realist, and reaching the Jupiter finger as an idealist. So if a person has become from realist to idealist, then we would consider the right hand. And if we find that the person has converted from an idealist to realist, realist, so then we would consider the left hand. So this is the way how we would basically come to the final conclusion which hand to refer to, but both hands show similarity. There's a minor difference, nothing major. Now we try to see other portions of the hand as well. In this hand also, both the head and the lifeline are joined at the initial start. In few people, I just explained to you, if the headline and the lifeline there was a gap, then the person would be rash, outgoing. Now the person out here is cautious, shy, hardworking. There's also a upward kind of a line pointing towards the mount of Jupiter. Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet means growth, expansion in your life, honor in your life, reaching to a higher position in your life. So a person needs to be needs to have this kind of a outlook. Only then they would be able to attain greater heights and reach a respectable position. So when from the headline, this is the headline, from the headline a line from the mount of Jupiter joins into the main headline, it means your head is getting guided by Jupiter, and this is a positive aspect, and these people generally reach up to a high position, or they sit at an administrative position in life. Now a person could be a housewife and still they may have these kind of lines. So not necessarily that you need to be working, only then you would have these kind of lines. You could still be at your house and still you can have these kind of lines. Still being a housewife also, people can have these kind of lines. On the heart line, you would notice that there are few branches. These are kind of distractions, and this strong branch hanging on to the headline, this is a little bit negative because it means basically falling for temptations and having misplaced affections. Misplaced affections mean being affectionate to somebody who is not worth your affection. This is what basically it means. Now if we take a look at the sun line, now this is basically the money line, and this is the line going towards the sun mount, is basically the sun line, and it is kind of starting on the mount of moon, and basically it moves forward and then points towards the sun mount. So a line that starts from the mount of moon, it basically signifies that the person is likely to be get their name and fame or help from male members, or it could also mean like help maybe foreigners, or being associated with foreign or travel or something related to that, service industry or trading activity. All these things basically come into play. You would notice that the sun line is not so deep and clear out here compared to the line that we see above the heart line. This is the heart line, this is above the heart line. This line is basically the sun line. So above the heart line is age 53. This portion is somewhere close to the age 53 above the heart line, and this is the headline. So this portion, this intersection of the sun line and the headline is age 35. This intersection is age 53. So this portion 35 to 53, this portion is 35 to 53. So the portion below the headline, this is the headline, below the headline is before the age of 35. So when the line is not so deep and clear, it basically signifies some amount of doubts, and doubts or self-doubt, basically they destroy everything. So removal of doubts is necessary. And if a person is able to remove all the doubts, the chances for their success increases. So this is one part. The second part is that when the sun line becomes very distinct and clear, and it has a V-like portion pointing towards the finger, it is considered to be a good sign. It basically signifies that the person is energizing their work. V doesn't mean energizing the work. A strong line basically means, strong sun line basically means energizing the work. If the line was very thin, imagine a line to be extremely thin, something like this, then we would say doubts. But when the line of sun is deep and clear, the chances basically brighten up for the person being able to energize their work. Few people call these lines to be the line of success. Some people call these lines, sun line, to be the line of name and fame. I don't call these to be the line of name and fame or the line of luck, although I do not completely disagree with the other palmists. ultimately, if the line of sun is strong, automatically you're going to get name and fame. But it is all about how much energies you are putting to your work. This is what is basically represented by a strong sun line. Weaker sun lines also give success, but not as much as a strong sun line. Now in this case, there's a little bit different kind of a formation that is happening, which is hard to explain, but still I'm trying to explain. This is the line of life. This is the line of life, and there's a line that is coming somewhere out here, and then it is branching downward. So there's an island-like formation that is forming, and the island on the lifeline is forming somewhere from the age of approximately out here, somewhere from the age of 19, 20, 22 till the age of, let's say, 40, 45. That's the approximate age, I would say. So island-like formation is not generally considered to be a good sign, because it doesn't mean, it means not so good health. So this is an island, and but we are not very sure if this is an island or this is not an island. It could be something like this, that imagine this is the lifeline, and what happens is then there's the overlapping lifeline. So overlapping lifeline is always considered to be good because it increases the energy. And imagine if the line was something like this, then it would be underlapped. New lifeline basically means less energies, because less area of Mars basically means less fire and less fuel. This is the area of Venus. Venus is the area of desires and energy and stamina and vitality. Having a bigger semicircle is always good. This is a lifeline. If there was an overlapping line, it is considered to be good. It means more energy levels. But you would notice towards somewhere out here, at this particular point, there's a branch that is moving towards the mount of moon. A branch from the lifeline moving towards the mount of moon is a little bit negative. What it basically depicts is that it might depict health loss or wealth loss. It could be losses. But at the same time, it has got few other meanings as well. It could also mean because see, moon is a planet that is the area for imagination, visualization, romance, and being ahead of your times. And daily the phases of moon basically changes. So a lifeline, a branch line from the lifeline that moves towards the mount of moon, it may signify a desire to travel a lot. Now even when and the desire is coming because the person is getting restless at one particular place. So the desire is there. Whenever the person travels and reaches to another place thinking the person is going to feel satisfied, still the person might remain restless. So this quality of restlessness might come about in this particular person's case. So this is what is represented out here. It could also mean health loss and wealth loss, and it could the other meaning I've already explained. A strong line coming from out here. These are basically all the negative lines that you see, and they're coming, and some of them are coming and touching the headline. So the age at which it strikes the headline is after the intersection of the head and after the intersection of money and the headline. So this portion is age 35. So if this portion is 35, so it's touching the headline somewhere after the age of 35, this portion, so somewhere close to 36, 37. Apart from that, you would notice that there are other lines as well which are coming and touching the headline somewhere out here. So if this is 35, 37, so this could be somewhere where the person is traveling in, somewhere close to the 45 age. It could be 46, 47 also. This is just an approximate, I would say. And now I need to add few more things as well out here. To be successful, people think that money line is the only line to refer to for material success, or the sun line is to be referred. But we have to consider each and every line to come to the final conclusion. In this case, I had started with the long heart line. The long heart line makes the person idealistic and sensitive, so the desire for money basically decreases in comparison to a person who has their heartline purely ending on the Mount of Saturn. Apart from that, you also have, the lady also has this Mercury line. Mercury line is the line of skill. So they are reasonably good. So when they are reasonably good, the person is good at calculations and is good at communication. And a person who is good at calculation and communication, the chances basically they increases for them. You would notice that there are two money lines are beyond the headline. This portion is beyond the headline. So from 35 to 53, two sources of income are there. Sometimes the person might say that there are no two sources of income. The person just has one source of income. This parallel line is just another supporting kind of a line. It is something like another pillar is added to your building, and if it is added, what happens is that you get support from that particular sphere. Now coming back to the right hand, and on the right hand you would notice the perpendicular line is there, not so clear, but it is present. And that downward line that I talked about from the lifeline pointing towards the Mount of Moon, this is also present. So the age at which this particular line develops is somewhere close to the age, this age where it develops is close to around the age of 50. That's the approximate age. On the right hand, you would notice that the sun line is also reasonably good. In the initial part, the sun line is good before the age of 35, then it becomes dim from 35 to 53, but beyond that it is quite nice and clear. So when a person has got these lines, the chances for their success increases. I've already explained, if both lines are joined together, their success is at a little bit later stage, provided they remain committed to their field of work and provided they remain committed to the path they have basically decided at the initial start. Just like a tortoise, when there's a race has been decided, so you have to follow that particular path. You can't basically flirt with different work and get distracted. This upward line is also seen in the right hand as well, so this is a positive line. And I've talked about the heart line, I've talked about the downward line, but there appears to be also upward kind of line also pointing towards the Mount of Jupiter. These lines are considered to be good because they take a person to a higher position, and like somebody uplifts them. It could be some relation that is uplifting them to a higher position. This downward line is person is getting dragged down by a relation. So both things are there. Few relations are going to uplift and the few are going to basically down this particular person. It also appears that the lifeline is kind of broken somewhere out here, and then there's a overlapping line. See, overlapping line, I've already explained to you that it's a good sign, and somewhere out here the line is also pointing somewhere pointing towards the Mount of Saturn. A line that points towards the Mount of Saturn, even if it's a very small branch, that's considered to be good, because then the person's life is getting guided by Saturn, and Saturn is all about money, possessions and wealth. There are few negative kind of lines. These kind of lines are there. So these lines are running parallel to the heart line. This is also called the girdle of Venus. This is not a perfect girdle, but still it is present. And what it does is it brings about unrealistic fantasies, or it could also bring about hysterical nature. Being, if they're happy, they're really happy. If they're sad, they're really sad. So these things might get applied. The lifeline is out here, and there's a supporting lifeline. This supporting lifeline is there somewhere till the age of 50, and this supporting lifeline basically, even when there was a break, it kind of helped the person recoup from a problem or any other physical kind of a problem and come out much more stronger. And this line basically is kind of a armor around this particular person. Consider this is the lifeline, this is the car you are traveling in, and a cycle or a scooter or a car, the stronger the line, the bigger the vehicle is coming and striking this particular person. So what happens is, in the middle, if there's a supporting line or there's a line of Mars, there are different names to it. The speed of this particular vehicle is kind of restricted. It acts like a speed breaker, and basically when it touches the lifeline, the speed is negligible. So this is how the person gets like kind of safeguarded. Trouble line is also seen somewhere out here. I've already 35 at the age of 35 also, and somewhere beyond that also, that I've already explained. The headline is branching into two. That's a good sign. It means a person is a genius, and it appears there's a small branch also kind of pointing upward. If it is there, it's a good sign, because some amount of jubilation and some amount of success basically comes to this particular person even at a later stage of life. So it's a combination of many lines coming together that might mean success or failure. As such, the hand is good, the lines are good, and one good part that I've noticed in her hand is that there are many perpendicular lines. These are excellent kind of lines, super excellent lines. And a person who has these kind of lines, basically good qualities basically get applied to their hand and the planet they are on. See, if it's on the Mercury planet, Mercury finger, this is the Mercury finger, it means skill. And skill, communication, calculations, statistics, economics, biology, chemistry, anything. This is the area of your risk-taking abilities, art, music, creativity. This is the area of money, possession, and wealth. And this is the area of reaching to a higher position, honor, respect, spirituality, all these kind of things. There are one or two horizontal lines as well. I'll just show what horizontal lines are there depicted. This is a horizontal, this is a horizontal, and this is a weak horizontal line. So it's something like energies is penetrating the fingers. And when they are penetrating, energy or the light is penetrating the fingers, and if there's a line somewhere out here, that energies are getting blocked. But in this case, there's just one horizontal, but as such they are perpendicular lines, and these are strong lines. So these are very, very positive kind of lines. Very few people have these kind of perpendicular lines over the fingers, and when I find these particular lines, I consider them to be an excellent possibility. And that's it for this particular hand image. I hope I've tried to answer a few of the questions you have asked and many more things. If you still have any further questions, please you talk after the reading. Thanks for watching this video. Before I end this video, I would request you to just wait for 1 minute, one more minute. People want to know about money, possession, and wealth, and people think that money line is going to tell everything regarding the money. But according to me, only 15% is what you can come to know about your money from your money line. So money can be seen from almost any line. Money can be seen from your heart, head, life, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line or any other mount. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind is really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company. That's what matters the most, because if you have good company, even if there are negative signs on your palm, it's not going to get applied. One more thing I need to add out here, that although the heart line is long, it makes a person very sensitive. Still, the person has got a reasonably strong headline. So there's a balance between the head and the heart. So it's hard to say if the heart or emotions overpower the mind, or the mind overpowers the heart. So sometimes what might be having trouble might be where the person needs to apply the heart, the person might be applying. Where the person needs to apply their head, they might be applying their heart, and where they need to apply their heart, they might be applying their head. So they have to keep a balance regarding this particular aspect. And see, I need to tell one last thing, that she's having doubts that should she continue with the business. I would say we have to remain committed. Only then we are likely to get results. So commitment is required. Even if you have got troubled times, even with a light line, it means a little bit doubts, and doubts do not give success. So even if you have those doubts, clear those doubts and try to show a face that is committed. If you show that, the people around you also are going to feel committed and they would give their best. If you are lacking in commitment, it's going to show that lack in commitment in the other people as well. And be less, my suggestion would be less sensitive, be less idealistic. If you want money, if your desire for money is less, then you can donate. That's what you can do. But once you are on the seat, you have to be extremely strict regarding money, and you have to value money, each penny, because each penny, when you accumulate together, it makes a million. So that's what this hand represents. Be cautious. The person is already cautious, but the person should be valuing money, and the person should be praying for money. Only then the person is going to get more money. Thanks for watching. Bye and take care. Thanks for watching, and press the bell icon on YouTube. Don't miss another update.